If I had saved all the money I spent buying all the items on my hospital list, girl, by now, I would have been a millionaire. But nobody told me, nobody gave me the update, and that's why I spent a lot of money buying all the items on my hospital list, even those that were not necessary. Hi momsies and momsies to be, Rose here, you're welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a review about the necessary hospital items that you're supposed to get as a first-time mom going to the hospital to have your baby. So the reason I'm doing this is simple. Not everything on your hospital list is important that you buy. Some of the things there are things that you actually have at home and you can just pick them and pack instead of buying new ones. So this is a Nigerian edition. This means that everything I'm going to be sharing today is from a hospital in Nigeria. It's from a hospital list from here in Nigeria. I don't know how it works out there, and so I cannot speak for every hospital out there, but this is my personal experience, and I used a reputable federal teaching hospital here in Nigeria. So I am going to get my phone because I took a picture of the list. I somehow lost my own after the baby came, but I was able to get the list from someone and I took a picture of it. So I'm going to get my phone and review all the items on the hospital list. So are you a first-time mom, or are you going to be a first-time mom? Or are you pregnant at the moment? This is the video you want to be watching, because by the end of this video, you will be cleared on the necessary things that you're expected to get for your new baby. That being said, let's dive straight into the video of today. Like I already said, this list is from a reputable federal teaching hospital in Nigeria, and it is exclusively for this particular hospital. I don't know how it works out there, so please, this is just for this particular hospital. That was a hospital I used and it was wonderful, and that's why I'm reviewing this particular hospital. But if you're not going to use a federal teaching hospital, you might as well make your own research to know what they use. But even if you're not going to use a federal teaching hospital, this can also serve to prepare you so that when you go out there, you make the best decision. This particular list says antenatal clinic list, and it is divided into 3. The first is for you, the mother. The second is for the baby, the cute baby that we're going to welcome very soon. And the third is a list of food items that the mother is expected to eat. So the 2 important areas here, the focus of this video is just the requirements for the mother and requirements for the baby. I may not touch the food aspect because maybe I will do a separate video on that. So let's dive straight into the part for the mother, requirements for the mom. The first one here says a pair of flat slippers. I told you that nobody gave me updates. So when I saw this, a pair of flat slippers, do you know that I went shopping for a new pair of slippers? Whereas I had many of them at home. Girl, you don't need to get a new pair of slippers. If you already have a nice slipper, something very presentable, you want to go with that. Let me give you this shocking news. The hospital is not a fashion center. Like, you're not going for fashion parade. When the thing starts, like when it is time for you to give birth, the last thing you're thinking about is what you're putting on your feet. So you really don't need that. You don't need to buy a fancy slippers. It is not a fashion parade. And your feet, they have little to nothing. I mean, you're not going to push the baby out from your feet. Even if it's CS, you're not going to. So you really don't need the fancy slippers. So if you have a nice slippers that you use at home, something that your feet can just enter, so that when you're walking about, having your, getting ready for your baby, you're comfortable, then you should go with that. Number 2 thing here is braziers with broad head. This one may be necessary based on if you haven't been using a brazier that has a broad head. If as a first-time mom or someone who's going to be a first-time mom, I'm assuming that this will be necessary for you, because I don't know if it's safe to assume that so many women don't like this brazier with broad head. But when you're going to be a mom, you know you need it because the breasts increase, and so you will need something stronger to hold them. And you need something that will also afford you the ease and comfort when you're feeding your baby. But if you're someone who already had or you already use braziers with broad head, you don't need to buy new ones just because you're going to the hospital. Unless you're buying them just for the general preparation of having a new baby, or just because you desire a new clothing item. But if it is because of the hospital, nobody's going to stand at the gate to check whether you have a brazier with broad head. Do you know that I actually thought that someone would check, like maybe when I get to the hospital, they would bring out my bag, open it up, just like, just to know if everything was complete. But when I got there, I realized everybody's busy. Like, who's looking at you? Everybody's busy trying to save lives. So they don't care whether you came with a brazier with broad head or not. That being said, you go, girl, get what is comfortable for you. If you already have it at home, you're good to go. Number 3 here says nightgowns. Girl. One of the funny things I did when I was pregnant, like when I was going to hospital, was that I bought lots of nightgowns. I actually specified them. This would be for day one. This would be for walking around. I don't know. I don't know who filled my brains with the information that I was going to do a runway. Because of that, you won't believe I bought many nightgowns. Some of them, I never wore them until my baby was around 6 months old because I was so big, I couldn't even enter them. But I bought lots of them. Girl, you don't need all that. You don't need all those nightgowns, okay? Because trust me, when you're in labor, when you're about to get your baby out, the last thing you want on your skin is a piece of clothing. You want to be comfortable and you may not need them. Unless maybe depending on your kind of delivery, when you're done with your baby, you can, when you're done giving birth, you can stay longer in the hospital, so you might need all those things. But even at that, I would recommend that you get pajamas instead, because pajamas are, they're usually divided into two. It's into two. There's the up, there's the down. Because when you want to breastfeed your baby, you don't want to lift everything. If you get a nightgown or nightgowns, you have to lift everything. So if the doctor comes to check on you or nurse comes to check your fetal heartbeat, that is the heartbeat of your baby, to make sure your baby is fine, you have to lift everything. And I don't think that's a very comfortable or private way of being in a public place. But when you get your pajamas, you can get as many as you want. You can easily lift your top and they will check your tummy or or something like that. But you don't necessarily need nightgowns. They usually add nightgowns because they believe it makes you more comfortable. But whatever works for you, I'm just saying that you don't need to buy new ones if you already have nice ones. You can just go with what you have, and that's okay, okay? Now, the fourth thing here is 4 clean wrappers. You need lots of wrappers. They said 4 clean ones here, but if you have more, you want to go with them because you need the wrapper to cover your baby when the baby arrives. You need the wrapper to set your bed. You need the wrapper to cover yourself. You need the wrapper to tie around you because when you are having contractions, yes, you may not be comfortable in a nightgown. And that's why I said they may not be need to get a nightgown. But you need a wrapper so you can cover yourself, and open up the wrapper when the doctors come to check or nurses come to check how many cm you are dilated. So you need lots of wrappers. If you can go with more than 4, it's advisable to go with more than 4. Next thing here is Lady Sept sanitary pad or Dr. Brown Mother's sanitary pad. Do you know that when I actually got delivered of my baby, I thought that someone would, like there was a supervisor in the hospital who would check my bag to make sure that the sanitary pads that I came with were Dr. Brown or Lady Sept. Why are you looking at me like that? It was my first time. I didn't know. But now I am telling you so that you don't make the same mistake that I made. You don't need to get Dr. Brown or Lady Sept. What you need is a good absorbent sanitary pad. It doesn't have to be Dr. Brown or Lady Sept. I think this particular hospital was specific because they have an affiliation with these companies. But if you can get any other any other sanitary pad that is absorbent, you are totally good to go. And here they said you should get 4, depending on your type of delivery. And by that, I don't know if you are aware that whether you give birth vaginally or through cesarean section, you would bleed. So it doesn't matter where the baby comes out from, you're gonna bleed. So sister, you wanna come with enough sanitary pads. So they said 4 here, but I think I ended up using more than that. So you don't know how your flow is going to be. It's just safe to get more than enough. The next thing here says bottles of Dettol. 2 bottles of Dettol. What God cannot do does not exist. Do you know that? When I got mine, my husband said, you don't have to get Dettol specifically. You can just get a good disinfectant or antiseptic. But I was like, no, I am preparing for the arrival of my baby. I cannot have any other one if it's not Dettol. So I went round the pharmacy looking for Dettol. Girl, you don't need to go through all that stress. If you already have Dettol in your home, you can just go with it. I thought that when I get to the hospital, I would give those items to the nurses. But at the end of the day, I found out that those items were just specifically for my own use. Okay? So it is for you to use. So anyone you're comfortable with, that's fine. Nobody's going to flog you. Like, nobody's going to put a gun to your head and say, you did not come with Dettol. Okay, now the next thing here is Morning Fresh. I don't know who prepared this list, and I don't know why they put this here because I came back with my Morning Fresh. I bought it, of course. I bought everything on the list. Because they had not given me newsletter. But I came back with my own Morning Fresh. I don't know why they put it there, But nobody asked of it, and I came back with it. I admit that there are some things that things you need to give to the nurses on duty to take care of you. But I don't know, I came back with my own morning fresh. So I totally think it's unnecessary. But I don't know. This is just my opinion. Anyway, we move on to the next one, which is a packet of razor blade. Girl, I came back with mine. And that's not because I did not present it to them. That's exactly because it wasn't needed. I don't know who prepared this list. Like, I thought they would need the razor blades to detach the umbilical cord from the placenta. But at the end of the day, the razor blades ended up being useful for me to carve my eyebrows. Anyway, I am happy that they are fulfilling purpose. But it was totally unnecessary to get them for the hospital. So I don't know why they put razor blades there, because they didn't even use it. And it's not because I didn't present it, like I said, because I packed my items separately and my baby's items separately. So my bags were there, but at the end of the day, it wasn't used. So I don't know, but it's in the list, but I don't know why they put it there. Next thing here says packets of Omo. Girl, they said 2 packets of Omo. I don't know why they wrote up to 2, because nobody collected mine from me. I came back with the remnants, and I found out that the Omo packets or detergents is just for you to wash your things. So you don't have to get up to 2. You're not going to wash. You're not going to become a laundry woman. You are going to get delivered of your baby. But if you want to be on the safe side, you can get it. But well, the packets of Omo, and you don't have to buy Omo. You can buy Wow. For those in Nigeria, you understand. You can buy Wow, you can buy Viva, you can buy Sunshine, you can buy Delight. You don't have to buy Omo. But the ones I went with, I came back with them, apart from when I opened it to wash some of my things. So I think this is just for you to be able to take care of yourself. But if you already have them at home, there's no need to buy new ones, okay? At this point, I think it's appropriate to say that if you've not subscribed to this video, to this channel, you're not doing me well. Please just subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because I know it is definitely blessing lives, okay? The next thing here says 2 toilet rolls. That is 2 toilet papers. You need this. If you can get more than 2, please do, because there's a lot of cleaning and wiping that would go on at the hospital. When the nurses and doctors come to check you, they would put this gel on your tummy, and then they will put this thing that helps them to measure the fetal heartbeat. I don't know what it is. I don't know the name. So after they are done, they put this gel to reduce friction. So after they are done, you will need to clean the gel off your tummy. So you need a lot of tissue papers or toilet papers. And even when you need to use the restroom, all those things. So if you can get more than 2, fine. So you can get them as well, okay? And then there's the towel. You don't have to buy a new towel like I did. I bought a new towel, my God. Okay, let's just move on. If you already have a nice towel, a clean towel at home, which I assume that everybody does because everybody cleans their bodies after bathing, you don't need to buy a new towel. Just take your towel, clean it very well, put it inside your maternity bag, and go to the hospital and have your baby. Don't buy a new towel like me. Anyway, moving on, there's the Hypo. Okay, this is supposed to be a bleach, and in all honesty, I don't know what they needed it for, because I just don't know. But I still bought it. But at the end of the day, I came back with mine. I put it to good use, but it wasn't in the hospital. Wait, let me tell you something. Do you know that? Do you know that when I went to get my Hypo, I couldn't find Hypo at that mall? I found only Jik. But I was so naive, and I went around the mall looking for Hypo. My husband said, buy this Jik. It is the same thing. You don't even, I said, no, I want to buy Hypo. They said Hypo. It has to be Hypo. There must be a reason they said Hypo. But girl, I'm telling you now, as your insider, there's no special reason. It's just the one that they remember to write. Because I finally bought Jik, and the Jik jicked back to the house with me. If you know, you know. I didn't use it at the hospital. It was when I got back that I started using it to wash my baby stuff. So I don't know why they put it there, because I didn't end up using it. I feel like some of these things are supposed to be available at the hospital, so you're not supposed to carry all these things. So, but whatever, you don't need to get new Jik. If you want to get Jik just to be on the safer side, that's fine. But if you have Jik at home, there's no need to spend extra coins trying to get new one. And then there's the Macintosh. This is important. This is so important. I feel like the Macintosh is supposed to be the first on this list because, girl, you need your Macintosh. It is the Macintosh that they place on the bed before you lay down for them to check you. It is the Macintosh that helps you to, you don't use the same bed that everybody has used. Even if you are in the presidential ward or the private ward, you still need your Macintosh. So get your Macintosh. It is very important. I recommend it highly because I actually saw something that was of great use. And the good thing is that when you come back from the hospital, you can still use the Macintosh for something else, but you need to get yourself a Macintosh. The next thing on this list says delivery mat. And on this list, they specifically said damson, underpad, or nightingale, 3 to 5 pieces. Let me bust the bubble. You don't need up to 3 to 5 pieces. Because do you know that when I went to get mine, the receptionist, that is the person that sold mine to me, told me that I didn't need to get up to 3 to 5, that I can just get 1 or 2, that's fine. But in my mind, I was like, what do you know about this? I didn't tell her that, but in my mind, I was like, what do you know? No. I have to get it just the way they said. But I finally discovered that I didn't need all that, okay? Was I going to give birth to quadruplets? 1 or 2 is just okay. That is the conclusion of this particular one. And you don't have to get nightingale or damson. Anyone is fine. Next thing here is disposable gloves. Yes, you need your disposable gloves. At this point, I'm going to show you the disposable glove that I used because I just think it's important, just for educational purpose, okay? This right here is the disposable glove that I got. You know that when I say that some of these things are highly unnecessary, it sounds as though I don't know what I'm saying. But do you know that I got this when I was going to deliver my baby, like to have my baby. But they didn't even use, I came back with it. I will open it and show you how many pieces is still remaining. I would also say this, that it's important for you to get it though. It's better for me. I would recommend that you get it like this, like a pack, instead of getting it like this. Sometimes some people sell gloves like this. I don't think you should. I think you should get it like this because you can easily exhaust this one, but this one lasts longer. And it's almost as if everything they do in the hospital is glove. Like it is as if they literally need a glove to breathe around you. So you want to get this so that even though they would definitely not finish everything, it is more cost effective than this one. Okay, so I will show you exactly how it looks like inside. Basically like the one I just dropped. Like this. It looks just like someone's hand. Okay, so the person they use it for everything. To touch you, they will use this. To breathe around you, they will do this. To say hello, they will use it. I'm joking. I'm just kidding. I mean that they need gloves a lot. So if you want to get a lot of gloves, just get the pack. Okay, and it has size by size. This one says, I don't know if you can see it. It says M, and that's medium. So you just have to also think about that when you're getting yours. This one is actually called latex examination gloves, powdered and protected, and I think it's made by this company called Valif. It's written somewhere around here. So that's for this one. After the gloves, that is the disposable gloves. The next thing I have here is surgical gloves, and you need it. For the disposable gloves, they said 1 packet, just like that. And the surgical gloves, they said 4 pairs. You can get it. If you can get more than 4, maybe 5 pairs, that would be good because it's better to get it outside the hospital than inside the hospital because things are pretty much more costly inside the hospital than when you're buying it outside. After that, there's the cotton wool. I've been waiting for this particular one. I don't know who prepared this list because, girl, they did not even touch my damson cotton wool, right? Damson cotton wool, 500 grams. I will show you. I don't know if the person who prepared that list wanted to mop a whole hospital with this cotton wool because what exactly am I supposed to be doing with 500 grams cotton wool? Even if I was giving birth to quadruplets. And see how big it is. It's even small now, like it has reduced now because I've been using it at home ever since I got back. It was this big. Like, tell me the century, that I will finish this particular thing. Ordinarily, cotton wool is supposed to be something that every hospital has. I don't know why they wrote it down here. So that concludes it for the mommy requirements. Okay, so now I'm going to review the requirements for the baby. There are about 12 baby items here. The first one is 1 NG tube, size 8. Yes, this is very important because when the baby is born, the baby is usually covered in amniotic fluid. The baby is sometimes pinkish or grayish. So they need this tube. I think this is what it is for. Yeah. They need this tube to put in the baby's nose and suck out the excess fluid. Put in the baby's mouth and also suck down the throat and suck out excess fluid. Okay, so that is what this NG tube is for, and it is size determinant or size specific. For me, they said I should get size 8, but I don't know about other people. So you want to get this, and it is very important. Second thing here is baby napkins or diapers. Of course, your baby is not going to be naked. Like, your baby should be well dressed when the baby comes out. So you want to get napkins or diapers. I don't think they still do napkins these days because of the cost of taking care of it, but it's diapers now, and I would recommend that you get newborn diapers because they are specifically formed for the newborn. Newborn diapers have a space for the baby's umbilical cord, because you know when your baby comes and is attached to the placenta, it is the umbilical cord is cut and there's a stump left. They will use what they call a cord clamp. I'll tell you about that later, to clamp your baby's stunt. That is the remnants of the umbilical cord. But you're not supposed to tuck it inside a diaper when you're putting your diaper on your baby. You're not supposed to put that stump inside a diaper. But the thing is that if you get any other kind of diaper, let's say size 1, 2, 3, they don't have any space for umbilical cord, because it is believed that before your baby starts using size 1, 2, 3, the umbilical cord must have fallen off. That is where newborn diapers come into play. Newborn diapers ensure that your baby is comfortable while the stump is placed the right way. It has this curve around the belly side so that your baby is comfortable, and the stump from the umbilical cord is still in place. The third thing here is baby dresses. Of course, your baby is not going to be naked when the baby is born, so you need to get dresses. Speaking about dresses, do you know that when I packed my own, I packed lots of clothes. Like, it was as if I was going on a vacation with a newborn baby. My husband said, you don't need to get all that. We're coming back in just how many days? I said, no, I must get it because it was my first time. You guys, don't look at me like that. Stop it. You don't need all that. And this also depends on the kind of delivery you are going to have. If you have the vaginal delivery, you will be discharged faster, quicker than someone who gave birth through cesarean section. So if you gave birth through cesarean section here in Nigeria, I think they let you stay in the hospital for 3 days so that they can check your PCV level, that's your blood level, make sure you are okay, you're not having hemorrhage and all that. But if it is vaginal, except when there's episiotomy, that's when the person has episiotomy, they might have to keep you longer. So the number of clothes you will come with depends on the requirement, like the kind of delivery you're going to have and how long you're going to stay at the hospital. And then here, there is the baby blanket, of course, especially if you stay in a cold place where the weather is not warm. Here in Nigeria, the weather is warm, but do you know that even though the weather is warm, our mothers will not let the baby stay without having their heads covered. They will cover the head, cover the eyes, cover everywhere. So you want to get a blanket, and I pray that your baby is someone who likes to use blankets, because my baby, immediately you cover him with the blanket, or God has woken up from sleep. But I hope it's not the same thing with your baby, okay? Then there's baby sweater. Well, this also depends on the weather, but because it's a new baby and you don't want them to get cold, or you don't want them to be bothered by cold if it's a cold season, you want to just go with a sweater. The next thing here is stockings. I would really recommend that you get this kind of clothing that is called overall, that covers everywhere, and the stockings is attached to the overall, because it is easy to lose a baby's socks. The baby stockings are always so tiny that you can bring them out and not know where they are. So especially when you are in a place as public as a hospital, you want to just put on an overall so that everything is together. When you're removing the clothes, you know you're removing even the socks as well, and you won't have to start looking for anything, okay? And there's another thing they didn't add in this list, but I got it and it was helpful. Yeah, that's baby mittens. Mittens are basically coverings for the hands. You know, I don't know how it works in other climes, but right here in Nigeria, when a new baby is born, everybody wants to carry the baby. Everybody wants to touch the baby's hand. Everybody wants to do, hello baby, you have arrived, welcome to our, see his face, see her face, it looks like the mommy, it looks like that. That is all beautiful, but let's not forget that there's still COVID flying around. So when your baby's hands are bare, first of all, everybody can just touch them. And babies like to put their hands in their mouth, so they start sucking dirt. But if their hands are covered with mittens, you can just remove the mittens when the people go and give them the opportunity to be free. The next thing is that covering your baby's hands, palms with the mittens also saves you and your baby, because then babies are fond of scratching their faces. You are protecting your baby from themselves because their fingers won't have to touch their face. So that's why I got my baby mittens. And when the weather is cold as well, you can use the mittens to cover the baby's hands and the baby is safe. So I would recommend that you get mittens, but what do I know, Steph? I'm just I'm kidding. Of course, get mittens for your baby. Now there's also this baby soap. I don't know why they wrote baby soap, because my baby soap came back to me in the pack. You know, the pack that I came with when I gave it to them, it was still the same pack. I only used my soap much later. I don't know why they wrote it there, but if you want to get your baby soap, please get it for your sanity's sake, but they may not use it. But the good thing is that if they finally don't use it, you can come back home and still make use of it. Then there is the powder, the oil, and lotion. Some people say using baby powder isn't good because it clogs the baby's skin. I don't know about that, because I used powder for my baby and he was fine. I stopped using it only when I started having some, for personal reasons, but it was good. So after all, it's baby powder. But I don't know if you have anything against baby powder. You might want to leave it, but if you don't, you should get your baby powder. Okay, because when your baby is born, sometimes the baby develops rashes so fast, like they are developing rashes, which is why, God willing, the next video I'm going to make is a video on, talking about rashes, because we tend to get bothered easily by rashes, but they are just normal and common occurrences. Okay. Then there's the towel. Of course, you want to get towel for your baby. There's the baby cup and spoon. The reason that you're going to get a baby cup and spoon is because even though exclusive breastfeeding is recommended for your baby till the baby clocks 6 months, sometimes some babies are unable to suck. So they express the milk into the cup and use a spoon to feed your baby. At other times too, maybe some people don't start lactating fast. Sometimes some people spend like 3 days before they start lactating. So in that case, they can feed your baby formula until you start lactating. That's why you need this baby cup and spoon. That's the last for the baby requirements, but there's one thing that they didn't include, and I'm going to do a new video talking about hospital requirements that are necessary, but that hospital workers don't always add. Number one of them is the thermometer. They don't always add the thermometer, but when you get to the hospital, you find out that it's important. So if you want to see the list of hospital requirements that your hospital in Nigeria should have told you about, that they didn't tell you, you have to look out for that video. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I really hope this video helped you or is helpful to you. I really hope that it was educational enough for you, and that it has helped to give you a glimpse of what happens on the hospital list here in Nigeria. Don't forget that I said that the list I just reviewed is from a federal teaching hospital here in Nigeria, but maybe the list will be different from other hospitals, but this was just a review based on my own experiences. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. I am having so many unique viewers, people who just view without subscribing, and you're so many. You're even more than the subscribers I have on this channel. It hurts me. It is heartbreaking. Please subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to also comment. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to share the love, both from this video and the love of God. As usual, please shut your eyes while I say a prayer for you. Father, Lord, I thank you for this opportunity that you've given us to talk about the requirements that we need for our babies. For those who are pregnant watching these, I pray that you provide for them and that you give them the wisdom to be able to make the right decisions and choices. Everything reviewed in this video is strictly my personal experience, but it will not be the reality of everybody. Therefore, I pray that you give them the wisdom to make the right choice in Jesus' name. Amen. How is it, guys? Did you enjoy? Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment, let the love go round. I will see you healthy and strong, momsies to be, and other members of the gang, healthy and strong, in my next video. Catch up.